Hello, my name's Matthew Sly, and I'm on a mission to restore this 1957 classic motor yacht. In this episode, we finally get the paint finished, and we also go down into the salon and get to work on some carpet. Thanks for joining us today, and if you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Well, good morning, everybody. It's Captain Matt here. It's a really pretty morning down here on the coast, which is nice. It's been super windy and cool, and so it's supposed to kind of warm up a little bit for the first time. We have made some really decent progress. Again, I had set several goals for myself. One was May 1st to be ready to go. One was Mother's Day, and I'm still not ready to go. But we've gotten down the first, I'll show you all this in a little while, but we've gotten down the first coat of the topside paint, and it looks pretty good. I guess the main thing that I had to realize in this, and one of the reasons it's taken me so long, is I've kind of done so much extra fairing, and what I realized is that I am just a guy. I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy, and I could sit here and try, and this boat is never going to look like it's brand new. And at some point, good enough is good enough. We've accomplished the major goal, or the primary goal, which is to stop the water from coming in. And yeah, I want the boat to look decent. I sure do. But I'm not going to be able to, out here in a boat slip, to be able to get it to that. To do that is going to take, a spray booth and, and some guys that really know what they're doing, which I really don't know what I'm doing. So I guess I just came to the acceptance of that, because I could spend probably another 3 weeks sanding, I bet, to get every single flaw out. And so I went ahead and started putting top coat on, and I guess then the second thing I realized was, that it almost kind of looks vintage, if you will. I mean, it looks like, it looks like an older boat's supposed to look, I guess. So I'm pretty happy with it. I don't like seeing all the flaws, but it is what it is. So hopefully today we will get a bunch of paint on the boat, and then start moving aft. Hopefully that happens. We'll do a little pressure washing today, get some things clean. There's a heavy dew fall this morning, so I can't start things right away. I have to wait, let that dew kind of warm up a little bit. But I did put a little more fairing compound on yesterday, so I have to sand that down, which I'll do here in just a little while. But as soon as some of this dew comes off, I'll take some video and show you the progress.
Hey, Captain Matt, what you doing up here?
Hey, I'm painting. Your fingers over the camera.
Oh, I don't think.
I'm painting. Mary Beth, we're getting, this is our second coat, the top coat. And I'm trying to get it on as neatly as possible.
On top of that fairing compound? You did that 3 times, right? Yeah.
I'm not a very good painter. I'm not very neat. So it blows everywhere.
Well, you're doing great. Look how great this side of the boat looks already. We're getting ready to do the floors in a little while.
It's not a good painter.
It's coming along though. Here's a shot of the front. Getting there, slowly but surely. I'm gonna pressure wash the whole boat. How many coats do we have up here on the bench mat so far? I can't remember how many we've done. Just one on the bench. And around the windows, isn't there two though?
Just one.
Oh, okay. And you can see we've got all the cushions on the ground, which I'm about to go clean. So that should be super fun. And this side has really come along. It's hard to see the shadow right now, but we're getting there.
Well, hey everybody, I can give you a good update now. So we've got the sides here finished. There's two coats up there. There's one coat over here, so I have to put another coat, but we can at least go. There was a lot of stuff we had to make some decisions on, and basically what I decided is at some point good enough is good enough. Maybe I've already said that on these videos, but at some point we just have to get going. But I think it looks pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. You can see all the imperfections, but it is an old boat. I think that people coming on here, you know, are not going to say, oh gosh, you know, it's not perfect. You know, for a complete amateur, which is what I am, it looks okay. You can definitely see the flaws, you know, but I could spend months and months and months and months fairing this thing and probably never get it exactly right. One of these days I probably will have it professionally done, but you know, but that'll be later. Now we painted the tops of these benches in the front there, and you can see the difference in what the white will look like. Well, see, this is really why I went with white in the first place instead of the Hatteras off-white. There's the Hatteras off-white on the right versus we did this last summer, and I don't know, I just think the white looks better. It's amazing how much this one coat of white faded over the year, but we'll get all this time. But for the most part, you know, it looks pretty good. You know, I'm pretty pleased with how it looks. There's still some touch up to do and stuff like that, but we're already moving on to some other things while that little bit that I did this morning cures and dries. So next is the back here. So the first thing that we did, these are our rear facing benches, and we opened this compartment up and cleared it all out. And now what Matthew is doing is he's putting down a coat of epoxy just to make sure that everything is sealed. Remember, oh, there comes a bug. That's one of the reasons why. Yeah, he'll die in that epoxy. Just throw him overboard. Yeah, that epoxy will kill him. Just throw him overboard. The birds will get him. Oh, good job. Okay, so that was exciting. Yeah, make sure you paint everything, all the surfaces, not just the seams, all the flat spots. So we'll get a coat of that epoxy on there. You know, what you can do too, son, is you can pour it and spread it. So that epoxy, when it cures, will waterproof that wood from water penetrating from this side. This compartment is kind of, I mean, it kind of keeps water out, but not really in a heavy rain. So having that wood down there sealed, and then we'll paint it, will definitely protect it and not allow water to drip into the cabin below. You're gonna need to pour on top of that fiberglass that they never poured onto. Try not to get it on you. Yes, I know we should have gloves on, but we don't. You're gonna need more epoxy on top of that fiberglass.
The pandemic has kind of screwed us, so we can't buy any gloves.
Yeah, pour more. There you go. Just leave it just like that. That's good.
Stuff comes off if it gets on you.
With the acetone. And still it makes you feel real funky.
It's the worst if it gets on your legs, gets caught in the leg hair. Whew. Well, that's fiberglass stuff.
Well, still put more on it. So once this stuff cures, we will paint all of this, and that will be good. And so then we'll sand and paint back here, and this will look nice. Then do some more work back over here, and then that'll also stop the water from getting into the rear stateroom back here from this part. We still have a lot of work to do on, we've got some, yeah.
About this middle section.
Yeah.
All of it?
Yeah. Let me know if you need some more. We've still got some repair work to do here on some of our stanchions, which got a little bit beat up, but we'll get that done and get these. This area is probably going to need some fiberglass reinforcement, I think, which we will do, to get it all back up to speed. But yeah, so happy to be making some progress. I think I'm going to get the sander and do a little sanding. Boats that pull in here, this is called transient season, and all these guys are moving their boats from down in Florida or the Bahamas or wherever they've been to up north. And so this is a giant boat that's come in here, and they'll stay the day and the night. You know, it's almost what we would call, I guess it is a mega yacht. I mean, it's super nice, huge. Headed back up to New York, or somewhere up there. Pretty fancy. Okay, I've got Matthew down here helping, he's kind of loafing, and then there's Betsy. Hi, Betsy. Betsy's helping. She's been a great painter. And so we're working on the back here. So we're getting this back painted now. We made a mess there, so we'll sand all that out. But you can see it's coming along okay. You know, we're making some progress and getting the back sanded. It's great to have Matthew and Betsy down here helping me today. So let's watch a little painting action, I guess. Yeah, just how about get what? Are you still coming? Are you still looking for a paint roller? Right. little more paint?
Hi.
Cool trip. Okay, Matthew, what are you doing now?
And
Did you make yourself a little paint thing?
yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, hey, so look at the difference between the old paint and the new paint. My battery ran out right after this, so I don't have a whole lot of footage of painting the rest of the deck, but it turned out to look pretty good. So we got a single coat of paint on the deck and kind of wrapped up painting, and then decided to move to the salon and put our new carpet in. Well, hey everybody, we're back here on String of Pearls, and it's a little bit rainy and stormy today, so we have moved inside where we're starting to work on something that does a lot for the aesthetics and also dampens the noise a little bit. Now, we're not quite ready to do the full restoration of the salon, but we got to put something down on this floor. As you can see, the floor used to be some old kind of cork board, and it's in terrible shape, but the plywood underneath is good. So what we wanted to do in this occasion was just put something down that looked halfway decent, was a little bit durable so that it would last for a little while, and also didn't cost a lot of money. We could spend a lot of money redoing this floor, but we don't want to do that right now, knowing we'll just have to probably upgrade it later on. So what we've done, the very first thing that we're doing is we're putting down this Smart Core little sealer label, and this is just something that we picked up. It provides a little bit of a moisture barrier. It's real easy to deal with, and it also provides a little sound dampening, which is important for this room when the engines are running. And then the second thing we did was we picked up some carpet squares, some peel and stick carpet squares, just real simple. And we did that because we've got to go around this new post that we put in. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, why don't you go ahead, since we're going to paint this, why don't you go ahead and paint this before you put the carpet down? And yeah, I agree with that. However, I don't have the paint for this right this second. And so we're going to go ahead and get the carpet down, and then we'll just cover it up when we go to paint so that we don't drip any paint on the carpet. So sometimes you just have to do things in the order in which you're able to do it. So we've already got this down, and we've just masked off the seams, and we're getting it up against the sides the best as we can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're going to install the carpet squares according to the instructions here in just a little bit after we get this down. And we're also having to move around the companionway that is real teeny getting out of here. So we're having to work around our sofa and some of our other furniture. We'll just move it side to side across. So not that big a deal. We just work around as we get all this done. So we'll check back in just a few minutes. So we've discovered a little problem here, and we think we found a good temporary solution. Our ladder to get up and down has these little pegs in it that hold it in place. And unfortunately, one of them has worn all the way through the subfloor. So that's not great. We don't want a hole in the peg. So the solution that we found is we've got this scrap piece of epay that was left over from when the marina was doing their construction. And this stuff is super dense hardwood, and it's very, very powerful. What we think we can do is, here you go, Matthew, is we think that we can install this piece and have the ladder rest on that, and that'll solve that problem. This is all temporary, of course, until we completely redo this, but it's a good temporary fix. We think that that'll suffice, and Matthew's going to test fit it right now, just so that we know exactly how far it needs to be. Get up your markings there. See how he's doing. So that obviously needs to be over a little bit. Make sure it gets in the middle of it. Can you get it in the middle? It's not in the middle. This needs to be centered. Look, that wood needs to be centered on that. On the ladder. Because I think we're going to leave it exposed. Put carpet around it. How's it look?
It's alright, we need, this one's got a little peg on the side.
Yeah, both of them do. Alright, now it's also that your ladder is out too far, so it needs to go up and in. There you go. And then those should be flat and flush. So scooch that back just a little bit. All right, that should be, I think that's a good repair. All right, I think that's a good repair. We've got that epay down, and I feel like that's a good repair. And we'll actually leave that board exposed and put the little carpet squares around it, because it's a really pretty piece of wood and it looks kind of nice. So we'll leave that exposed. You just set that aside, and this is your piece. All right, and you can take it over there and try fit it, and then mark your 24-inch line. You can measure in to see. Now lay it this way. There you go. And then see how far it is, so you can measure. I think it was 24 inches. Okay, so we're moving along here with our carpet square installation. We got all of the smart core down, and we've got our first 4 carpet tiles on. I'd say it looks pretty decent. So these things are pretty cool, and that they have little direction indicators of how you're supposed to align them, and you just peel the back off of them and stick them down. So far, it's been fairly simple. Hopefully it'll stay that way as we go around the room and keep on installing. So we'll check back in a little while. See how we're doing. Okay, we're continuing to come on around here with the carpet squares. Matthew's doing a good job of keeping up. I hope he's not confused now with the direction that we're supposed to be laying them. It's got to be the same direction all the way around. Alternating directions all the way around, or it'll look funny. And so it looks like, so we've got these ones are going in this direction, right? Going this way?
No, that one's actually going that way.
No, this one goes this way?
Maybe not, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this one will go that way.
Anyway, he's got it all figured out. We were talking about productivity, and Matthew asked, how much more productive am I? Oh, watch that little thing right there. Yeah. when he's here, and I think it's about 3 times. I think that we do about 3 times more work when Matthew's here. He's a tremendous help. Make sure this gets kicked in on this edge here. And make sure it's snuggled up against, doesn't look like it is. So he is doing a great job, and we're moving right along here. All right. Good job, Matthew. Okay, so we're pretty stoked. We got this finished, and it looks pretty good. We've got obviously the cushions to put back over there, and some other things to do. But I think that the carpet came out really good. It looks nice, you know, and it makes a difference in the sound quality of the room. The sound quality is a lot better, and it's pretty nice. What do you think, Matthew? Matthew did an amazing job of helping me. Frankly, he did all the work, and I just kind of watched. We helped each other. We worked well as a team, I would say. But yeah, I'm pretty happy and pretty stoked with how that looks. So now we've just got a little bit more trim work down here to do, but we're ready to go as far as this room is concerned. I'll run like this. I mean, I've got a little bit more trim work to do, which I'll do, and we'll be good to go. All right, so great job, Matthew. Thanks for your help. Hey, what's up, everybody? So we have really made a ton of progress, and we have a couple of charters this weekend, which is great. I can't wait to be back out on the water. So let me just show you, you know, we got the carpet installed, and that I think looks really good. Fired up about that. We got the cushions back on the sofa, tables back in place. I replaced the old carpet on the ladder, and then let me show you this. Now this is where sometimes my ambition gets the better of me. So I'm cleaning up, and we're cleaning up, and I had gotten a bunch of paint stains on the teak deck, and you can see that our teak deck is really stained and it just looks yucky. So I had started sanding that stuff off, and in doing so, look what I discovered is underneath it is just absolutely gorgeous. Look how pretty. Look how just absolutely gorgeous it is. And so guess what? Guess what I'm gonna do? Yep. I'm gonna sand it all off. Yeah, nuts, right? So I'll check back with you a little later. So over the next 2 days, I got a good bit of sanding done on this. I did not get finished before our charters, but that's okay. And in the next episode, you'll get to see the finished product of that. But this gets us all caught up. We're all up and running, and just are so grateful that you guys would watch. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time on String of Pearls.